Hi guys, this is going to be a quick and dirty introduction to the MIA retirement add-on. So we have a zip file. We want to go ahead and extract this into our add-ons 21 folder and then load up Anki. Okay, I'm going to load up a sample profile and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the options first. Here in the options we can select what happens to our we can go ahead and select what happens to our given deck. Okay, so we can suspend, tag, and move, or we can either delete the given, not deck, the given card at the point of retirement. So just for today's example, I'm going to set the interval at 1 day. Of course, you would like to probably set this to something like 365 days. And of course, it's going to be option group dependent. So you would need to make different option groups for different decks if you want to set the behavior to different settings. So let's just take a look first what happens if we set it to delete. Okay, so 1 day and delete. Let's look at the Shimei high definition deck, and we're gonna go ahead and let's bring this card up. So have this card ready to be brought up in the browser. We're going to go ahead and press easy, and it's going to have been deleted. Let's browse and look for it. Okay, it has been deleted as we wanted it to happen. We can see here undo card retirement. We can undo the card retirement. We can browse. We can see that it is back. Now sometimes when you undo a deletion, you're not going to see that card come up next. Now that's due to Anki's default behavior, so just keep that in mind. And I also want to note that if you undo a deletion, it will a card retirement and your setting is set to deletion, it will only undo once. That is also Anki's default behavior for that sort of operation. On deletions, you can only undo once. However, let's go back to the settings and go ahead and set it to not delete. Let's just suspend and tag. Okay, we're going to go ahead and suspend and tag a card. Oh, it's the same card. Okay. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's go to the settings, and I just want to show you that you can turn real-time notifications on. Real-time notifications will show you when a card has actually been suspended. By default, that's off because it can be somewhat distracting, I feel. You just want to focus on your reps and not focus on what's happening to your cards. However, you can turn that on if you'd like. Let's go ahead and press easy. You can see it now notes that the card has been retired. We can open up the browser. Let's open up the browser, take a look. The card has been retired. It has been given the retired tag, and it has been also suspended, as we can see. If we go ahead and do the next card, we can go ahead and do the same thing. And now, since we are not deleting, we can undo it twice. We can undo it as many times as long as we're not deleting cards. We can undo many times. We can see now that the card is back to its new interval, which it was a new card to begin with, and it's not suspended, nor does it have any tags. Now, a thing to note here, guys, is if you have the browser on when you're repping, this is a fault with Anki. It will not actually add a tag. If you actually do it when a leech comes up and you have the browser open and it's open to that specific card, you will find an issue that it will not add a tag, and if you undo it, it will not add a tag. So I just recommend not having that card open, that specific card you're repping open, when you are either undoing a retirement or having a card be retired, because it will conflict with tags. Although suspension seemed to work fine, and moving the deck seems to work fine as well, but there is an issue with tags, and that is a default issue with Anki. So I probably I don't plan to fix that in the near future, but perhaps eventually I can get around to even trying that and then fixing it for leeches too. But I'm not sure that that's a priority, since this will simply be fixed by not having it open to the actual card. Okay, now let's take a look at another feature here, guys. So we can see in the settings, we can go ahead and set the name of our retired deck. So let's set it to Retired Heaven. Okay, we'll set it to Retired Heaven. The cards will retire to Retired Heaven, and we want to go ahead and let's go back to decks. We're going to go to deck options. We're going to go to reviews, and we're going to go ahead and set it to move as well, because I think it's useful to move it away move a card away into a new deck. Oh, another important thing to note, actually, before I go on. Sorry that it's it's a bit unorganized, guys, but when you delete a card, it will actually Anki works in such a way that you can't delete a card by itself because it will actually regenerate on the next occurrence. So actually, what happens it deletes the note. So be careful because it will delete any other cards associated with that note as well. So it's probably recommended to go ahead and suspend and move a card. Suspend and tag, and even move a card to a new deck. That is recommended because you will also keep your stats, your Anki stats as well, if you do that. So for that card, of course. Okay, guys, so let's take a look. And we're going to go ahead and press 4 days. The card has been retired. Let's find that card now. You can see that it's been moved to the Retired Heaven deck. And you can see that it has been created. Now, if the deck exists, it will be added. If the deck doesn't exist, it will create the deck and move the card there. Let's actually go ahead and look here at the Retired Heaven deck. We can see that it is in fact in here. Okay, and of course let's press edit, undo, review, browse. Let's look at Retired Heaven. The card is not here, and let's find the card. It is back where it belongs. New interval, no tag, and it's back good as new. Okay, guys, so the last thing I want to show you, let's set the interval to 0 because that turns it off. Okay, I'm going to set the interval to 0, and I'm going to rep a few cards here. We're going to go easy, 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 easy. Now we're going to go ahead and go back into deck and set the options, and we're going to set the interval to 1 day. Of course, guys, 365 days is probably a good recommended interval because that will give us plenty of time to find that card out in the wild when we're immersing. So let's keep that in mind. This is just for demonstration purposes. Of course, a 1 day interval is insane. Okay, retirement in 1 day. Okay, guys, so let's take a look. Now that we've done that, there's another section here. You can see MIA actions. If we run mass retirement now, it's going to go ahead and run mass retirement. And I guess there were some other notes with intervals, and it's gone ahead and retired all of the cards to our Retired Heaven deck. You see, they all have large intervals. So therefore they have been moved to this deck. Okay, we can see that anything with above a 1 day interval has been moved to this deck. Okay, and of course we can go ahead and undo that, undo card retirement, and let's go ahead and browse Heaven. Okay, Retired Heaven is empty again. Okay, and there is one last setting that I want to talk about here in the run mass retirement, or not run mass retirement, the retirement settings. We can turn real-time notifications off again, and we can also turn mass retirement notifications off. So if we run it, it won't even tell you what happened if you just want to let the add-on take care of it. Okay, and if you want to go ahead and run mass retirement on every startup, you can go ahead and put mass retirement on startup, which will, for example, make sure that your cards that you repped on mobile will be retired properly. Okay, because every card is automatically retired during your reviewing, but if you are reviewing, of course, on mobile or on Anki Web, you're going to have issues with that because, of course, this add-on can't possibly work on Anki Mobile or Anki Web. So therefore, just make sure you either set this to mass retirement on startup. It can be a bit slow, so perhaps you don't want to do it every startup. Instead, you can just go ahead to Tools, MIA Actions, and run mass retirement. Thanks a lot, guys. I think that's it. Let me know if there are bugs. Let me know if I forgot anything. Let me know if you have any questions. And thank you so much.